here. Thank you. Does this work? Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's my privilege to introduce Petros Efthymiou, our friend and a great leader of this assembly. Although he is no longer with us as a member of Parliament, he will always be with us as our friend, and all of the good work that he has done will always be with this assembly. So, Petros, we thank you for all the great things you've done. We wish you a great future, and I would like to present on behalf of the assembly a small gift, a token of our appreciation and gratitude.
Thank you.
The floor is yours.
I'm sure it's not the Pandora's box. Dear colleagues, dear friends, I cannot hide it that I'm very moved. Because for me, and I'm sure that for all of us, politics is not an issue of mind or personal ambition. Politics for me and for all of you is a matter of the heart. It's a matter of values, core values of life, as is democracy, freedom, equality, everything that lays in our history of societies. I mean, I'm a French when I'm thinking of liberté, égalité, fraternité. I'm an American when I'm thinking of the Declaration of Independence. I'm one of you in each revolution for national sovereignty or for democratic values and freedoms in our society. So for me, politics was my life. My life was also a devotion to values. That's why the 8 years that I served this assembly were for me part of my life as I served my country, Greece. For example, when I fought for democracy, because I have had the destiny, Greece, Portugal, and Spain, to be the only countries in the West in which we have had totalitarian regimes. And for us, in the West, as so many in the East, democracy was the way to breathe, the way to exist as persons with dignity that only democracy defines and guarantees for each person. So that's why I think that this organization deserves our devotion. And we have to work hard as we do in order this organization to be more effective. Because we know very well that we are on an era of globalization. The problems are global, so the solutions are also global. And we know very well that even United Nations do not reflect the new architecture of power of the world. We don't have the infrastructure for a security system for the planet, and OSCE is the second largest organization comparing to the UN. And we have the North America, the whole of the Europe and Asia with us. And we have the only instrument to provide security, cooperation, human rights, and democracy to our societies. So I think that working in this organization, especially in the Parliamentary Assembly, is something that contributes to, first of all, the peace and freedom and democracy. And I think that we have to try here to perform with our best of friendship, confidence, to build confidence between us, not to permit backslides in our governments, in our parliaments, within ourselves. Because in Dubrovnik, the Armenians and the Azeris, we made a very positive step. Why not to improve that step? Why to have backslides? The same happens in this area. To each conflict area is the parliamentarians that we provide relations of confidence, and we fill the gap, we bridge. We do not separate each other. And I think that working closer with the executive branch of the organization, with Vienna, working closer with ODIHR, and keeping our pride of the elected people, that we represent our peoples. We, the Parliamentary Assembly, we can always be the initiator, the generator of new ideas, of goals that maybe for the governments are more reluctant and more hesitant to tackle. Dear colleagues, for me, what I know and what I have in my heart is that for 8 years with you, I am now more confident that the genuine values of freedom and democracy are the values that deserve to drive our lives. And I do believe that this era of crisis, when we have in our societies, sometimes in Europe, the smell of a Weimar democracy, when we all feel a kind of even of destruction, it is up to us, parliamentarians, up to us here in the OSCE Parliamentary Assembly, not to incline to this tension, to go back to our national agendas, to go back to xenophobia, to not to trust each other, but to work on the values that I think are irreplaceable. It's liberté, égalité, fraternité. It's that all humans are equal. I don't know, but what I know, it's the only condition to be a human being is democracy and the dignity that comes out through the genuine democratic values of the state of law. So I hope that always we as parliamentarians and we as Parliamentary Assembly of the OSCE will be in the front of this fight, in the front line of this fight for democracy, for human values, for the dignity of the human kind and each human personally. It was a pride for me to be with you, to share those 8 years of common activities, and I'm sure that we'll find each other again. Maybe again in the Parliament, nobody knows in politics this cycle, how it works, but always I'll be with you as friend. I'll be with you sharing the same values that 8 years now it was our common field. And I thank you all. I thank you all for your confidence, your trust. And I hope that everybody will recognize that I did everything. If I did mistakes, it is all mine. If I did good things, it was ours. And also, I have to thank our Secretariat in Copenhagen, starting from Spencer Oliver, and to each one, I do not name everybody else because I do not like to forget some of you. It's a small but very effective team. And I would like to thank you personally, all of you, for your friendship and for your confidence.